December 13th, 2016. As you're looking at our website, we've made a couple changes, and I'll scroll down and we'll talk about that. In the center, you have all your links. And guys, look, we've got 1.49 million visitors to the site. That we really appreciate it. Now, we've got a new order of the Heads Up shirts in the black and the sapphire blue, as well as the hats. The new hats are really neat too, guys. But right under that is there's a new link, and that's what this video is going to be about. It's called Comet 45P Honda. It's a really cool site. It's called Sky Live, and it's going to give you tremendous amount of information. And they're getting ready for this to start to brighten to near naked eye visibility, definitely in binoculars. And at the bottom, gamma ray burst. That's new. Notice it says Firefox only. The Chrome browser doesn't support this particular software, but the gamma ray burst system will go in, show you current gamma ray burst. You can go back and look through history, gives you where they came from, things like that. It's very interesting. Now let's go to Comet 45P Honda, and that's the top link that I showed you guys. Really neat. This is called the skylive.com. Go there, check out their site, support it. They do a great job. Now we're looking at from the top down, you can see that Honda just goes out past the orbit of Jupiter and then comes back in at about 5.25 years. Now this is the closest approach this century, or the last close approach within 1 AU this century. Let me put it that way. Last year was the closest approach to the sun, but the closest approach to our planet is going to occur. Now notice your timestamp today, December the 13th. Honda is between Venus and Mercury. The Earth is in the blue dot. The sun is in the center. Honda is the red dot. As we go through the timestamp, notice I'm just hitting days at a time, going up to December 29th, and I will pull this around, but let me read this. Comet 45P is just one of the fine binocular comets on deck for 2017. We're also expecting Comet Tuttle, 2P Inky that we saw during ISON, Pan-STARRS, and 2015 V2 Johnson. We're already getting some images, and they're expected to break below a 10th magnitude in this year. And the next great naked eye comet of the century could light up the skies at any time, and we're getting ready for it now. Binoculars are the best tool to observe bright comets, as they allow you to simply sweep the star field and admire the full beauty of a comet, the tails and all. Keep in mind, a comet will often appear visually fainter than its quoted brightness. And guys, with binoculars, you can probably get close and get the outline, but you may want to use a telescope to get a little clearer. And guys, with what we've been doing is, as we go forward in time here, I'm going to bring up the alignment of Honda and the Earth and the Sun. The reason I'm doing that is, if you remember the first video, I'm concerned that we may be experiencing coronal mass ejections during this time. These comets will create an electric discharge between them and the Sun, depending on the strength of the charge that the comet's built up while it's been out orbiting around Jupiter in the solar system. But on January 30th, we're going to be in a pretty close alignment there. Now, remember, if it starts throwing out coronal mass ejections from the left side of the sun, as we're looking at it here, prior to this date, we'll know it. And we should start seeing any kind of solar activity related to Honda well before then. But the CMEs travel out in all directions from whatever side of the sun they're launched from, guys, in a 180 pattern. So we're just going to have to pay attention to that. Then you get up to February the 11th, and that's the close approach to our planet, and it's starting to rise back up after its orbit dips it down into our inner solar system, and it's going to be coming over our planet. So it will be more of a northern hemisphere event by that time. But again, this link is at the bottom. It does a lot of other things too, and we're going to look at that. People want to know where can we find it, the different coordinates in the sky and dates and things like that. A lot of this is on there, and they're saying that it's going to become visible at any time. It says December 12th may break 10th magnitude, and it has. It's went below that, which means it's brighter. And at the very bottom, it's the final close approach this century of less than 0.1 AU. But if you notice today's date, December 13th, says it will be a 9.29. It's actually lower than that as I'm doing the video. It's a 9.09, and I'm going to show you how to find that. Then notice by December 19th, it's a 7.92. That means it's even brighter. And it changes from the constellations where you can see it. Notice on the right from Sagittarius down to Capricorn on December 15th, just in a couple days. But I'm going to show you those charts. Now, we're still on Sky Live with a lot of this information that we're looking at. But this is one of the really neat parts there, and you just go down and you'll find it. And this is for Honda. Today's date, December the 13th. Notice the yellow dots going across there. Magnitude 9.9 at the top. So it's a little brighter. It's still in the constellation of Sagittarius. Now, if you look at it's got the distance from the sun, distance from the earth, relative velocities there. And if you look at the section on the earth right below that, it's moving at 91,714 miles an hour if you break down 41 kms. And in kilometers, if you break it down, you're at 98 million miles from our planet at this point. But in 4 hours, you can see how it will shift. It gives you 8 hours back, 8 hours forward. And I know this is a little complicated if you're not an astronomer, and I'm not, guys. I do a lot of watching, but I'm not an expert with the big telescopes and all of that. But we use the information that we get and try to do the best we can. Again, we're trying to change that. Within a week, we're going to have a telescope that we can record live and possibly, depending on the location, broadcast live. And we're going to need it in the next year. Now, Mercury, Venus, Mars are in alignment, and that you can see that's where it's at. Where do you want to look? Southwest in the United States, 1 hour after sunset. You'll see Mercury will already be going down, but Venus and Mars will be there. And in that line, Comet Honda will start to become visible. As a matter of fact, look at the date, 12/12 yesterday. And Dr. Paleo Candy is getting images like this. Now, it doesn't seem that bright because of this bright moon we're dealing with. But notice as it passed Venus, also December 12th, by Nunzio Michele out of Italy. Look at the green glow on Venus, guys. Check that out. And if we can get images like we did in 2011 from around the world, it's going to be an amazing comet. Check this out. That's Comet 45P Honda on the last passage 4.25 years ago. Guys, it's going to be some fireworks going on through the holidays. Any day now, we're going to start getting these visible images of this comet. And guys, there's Neowise is diving in from above us, and we may see it. It's going to be a lot closer to the sun and may become a lot brighter. We'll update that on the next video. It's a heads up. Be safe.